Hey everyone, thanks for checking us out today. In this video, I'm going to share with you what we've done with the 3-in-1 Creator Castle that came out a few years ago. Now this castle doesn't get as much love as the Lion's Knight Castle, but I think it is just as impressive. And especially when you add 3 sets together to make one giant castle, which is exactly what we did. And there's a lot of amazing videos on YouTube that show what can be done with multiple sets of this castle, and there's a lot of really cool builds that you can find on Rebrickable and other sites like that. But I wanted to keep it simple because I have a 7-year-old son who I want him to be able to play with this set. And I wanted to keep an open courtyard very similar to how the King's Castle from the 1980s, the vintage castle, is set up so that he can get inside and he can play with the different pieces. So to make that possible, what I did was probably 75% of the build is the original plans that you can find in the actual box itself, the main castle layout, and then the 2 alternate builds. Now, I did a lot of adjusting with that I'll talk about here in a little bit, but basically I combined that and then used the extra pieces to make a large wall and connect all of those in sort of a square shape. Now, the original plans call for a small throne room. So what we did was we doubled the size of it, and we also added a balcony so that our king can look out over his castle and his courtyard. And I think that the size of this throne room fits better with the overall size and scope of the castle. Now, one of the alternate build plans that does come with the 3-in-1 Creator Castle is a tower. And I did not like the way that that tower was laid out. I thought the tower was a little too narrow, and I also did not like the fact that there was a staircase that exited from the tower that went outside. And I thought, it doesn't make sense for a castle to have a back door that you could just go right in. Seems like a huge security problem. So we made some changes to this tower. We widened it. We created a walkway that goes through the bottom of the tower. And then on the second floor, where the wizard lives, we created a little home for him. And on both sides, there are panels that you can remove, and you can look inside and see the wizard's house and his cauldron there. And then the wizard also has a balcony on the next floor, so he's got a pretty good view of the table. But I think that the best view on the entire table is the very top of the castle tower there. Our little guy there can see forever the entire table and see the entire kingdom. It's a pretty nice view, if I do say so myself. So I wanted to create a castle with a large courtyard, so that way my son could get his hands inside and he can play and move things around, and also so that you can see what's going on inside the castle, because there's some great plans out there, but the castles are more enclosed than open. And the problem with this one is it's the first castle I built, and my son can't quite reach most of it. So we're going to have to wait a couple more years before he can actually really play with the inside of this castle. But I included all of the market stalls and the blacksmith stand, so that way it creates sort of that bustling vibe, that crowded market feel that I wanted inside that courtyard. There's a few things I want to add to it, and I'm thinking about adding another tower and make the castle a little bit more asymmetrical. But for right now, I feel pretty good about the way the castle has turned out. And I also like the way that the terrain around and the fact that the city is right outside of the castle gates. It has a real medieval castle feel. And for now, I think I'm good with it. We also bought a 4th Creator Castle set to create this neat little inn, and then because of that, we have 4 of this guy, who I think looks more like a 70s biker gang member or a pirate than a medieval character. I thought it'd be neat to kind of share with everybody the evolution of our table. We started with just 1 Creator Castle and a very empty table, and then over the last 2 years have been able to expand not only our castle, but also the village and the rest of the table into a pretty nice little setup for us to go down and play and have a good time and kill a snowy or rainy evening. And with the 3 sets that we used to build our castle and the extra set that we used to build our inn, we have a lot of pieces left over. In fact, we just recently added a new building to our Black Falcon Village, and you can check out that video right there. And then we also have plenty of pieces. Over the next couple months, I plan to add about 2 or 3 more buildings with the leftover pieces to our village. Well, that's it for this video. If you'd like to follow us on our medieval Lego journey and see what we're going to be doing on the other end of the table for our next video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, happy building.